Hey guys, I'm just going to do some quick fire predictions for UFC 246. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on obviously the two main event title fights, but I'm going to do some quick fire predictions for the rest of the card first of all. So you've got Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo. Calvillo is a pretty solid fighter to be fair, but I just don't think she's got the physical strength to compete with Andrade, so I kind of expect Andrade to probably just win a 3 round decision. Like I think she'll just hit her with good shots and probably out wrestle her as well. I don't really see what Calvillo has to offer Andrade in that one. So the next one you've got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Curtis Blades. Now barring sort of a miraculous knockout from Rozenstruik, I do not see a way that Blades loses the fight. Because I think Rozenstruik, I've never really seen his grappling tested, but I just can't imagine I can't imagine he's got like the takedown defense to actually deal with Curtis Blades. So I think we're going to see probably another 3 round decision there, as terrible as it sounds. So yeah, I think Blades will get that by a 3 round decision. He's just going to take him down and lie on him, stay out of trouble in the striking and all that sort of thing. So yeah, solid win for Blades there. Nothing spectacular. Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. Now, I really wish Nick Diaz would have come out of retirement and fought Robbie Lawler sort of maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Or was it 5 years ago? I'm trying to think of when Lawler was in his prime. It was a while ago now. But yeah, I think it's annoying because obviously Nick won when they were both young. But I think Lawler reached a level as the welterweight champion that Diaz, frankly, has never been at. But I think Diaz has come back at just the right time to sort of take advantage of this because it's a high profile rematch, but Lawler is on a steep decline and has been for quite some time. Like he didn't have anything for Neil Magny, didn't have anything for Colby Covington, and I don't think he's going to have anything for Nick Diaz. Like you can say what you want about the Diaz brothers, they do always stay active in the gym. Now, I'm not one of these people that's going to go say that Nick Diaz is going to go on some ridiculous title run because he's not. He's not good enough to win the title at whatever weight class you want to put him at. But at this point, the way that Robbie Lawler's been looking, his striking, he doesn't look. He looks kind of not. I don't want to say scared, but looks like he can't really pull the trigger. Like his counters just aren't there the way that they used to be. So I actually think Nick Diaz are probably going to TKO Robbie Lawler and probably get him, probably put him in some trouble in the first round and then finish him off in the second. Because I think Lawler will start to get tired from the volume that Diaz is going to bring. So I think Diaz is going to win that one by TKO. You've got co-main is Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. So that's a 5 round co-main event. Now I don't want to completely write Lauren Murphy off, because I feel like Lauren Murphy is a very experienced veteran and she's pretty good at everything. Like she's got solid striking, got a good 1-2, good wrestling, decent jiu-jitsu. Like she's won fights in all types of different ways and she's been fighting for a very long time. So definitely a wily veteran. However, I don't really see a way in which she can beat Shevchenko. I don't think she's not got the striking to trouble Shevchenko. I've not seen anyone at that particular weight class, at the flyweight weight class, that can actually trouble Shevchenko in the wrestling department. Like I feel like Shevchenko is big enough and technical enough to pretty much out wrestle more or less anyone she comes up against. Case in point, Jessica Andrade, Shevchenko's last fight. She could have beaten Andrade she probably could have beaten Andrade on the striking. Like Andrade hits hard, but She's not got the technical advantage over Shevchenko, but Shevchenko chose to engage with her in the clinch and then to basically slam her on her head and ground and pound her. So I think this one, with respect to Lauren Murphy, I think this is going to be about how Shevchenko wants to beat her. And I think on this occasion, I think Lauren Murphy is probably tough enough. So I think the fight's going to go the whole 5 rounds. Shevchenko could find a finish and knock her out early, but I think Murphy's probably a bit too tough and durable and technical. She's not going to give her like an easy win there, like an easy finish, if that makes sense. But at the same time, I see Shevchenko completely outclassing Lauren Murphy. I think she'll outstrike her. I think Lauren Murphy will go for some takedowns, You know, she might maybe get 1 or 2, but I think ultimately Shevchenko's reversing that position, and then she's going to beat her up on the ground as well. That's honestly what I see happening in this one. So I'm going to say Shevchenko by decision. I'm not having a lot of decisions here, I understand that, but that's why I see it going. So now the main event, Volkanovski versus Ortega. Yeah, another fight that's not, in my opinion, not really conducive to having a big finish. I think what it boils down to is Ortega has definitely improved his boxing. I think we saw that against Chan Sung-Jung. But, I mean, Volkanovski's managed to have 2 very close fights with Max Holloway, the first of which he definitely won. I'm sorry, I know some people think that was controversial. It wasn't. Volkanovski definitely won that fight. The second fight really could have gone either way. I think, I scored it for Max Holloway, but I can kind of see where the scoring for Volkanovski would come in, because the last half of the fight was very, very close. So I can see that totally. So I think we're looking at probably another decision win for Volkanovski. Now, I think the only disadvantage Volkanovski's got, obviously there's the submissions of Ortega that you've got to watch out for. He can do them from unorthodox positions as well. So unless he does one of his sort of jumping guillotines or some kind of jumping armbar, I don't really see him beating Volkanovski. I don't think he can outstrike him. I don't think he's going to be able to get Volkanovski down. I think Volkanovski is going to be, obviously, shorter. His hips will be beneath him. It's not going to be easy to get Volkanovski down. He's probably the better wrestler anyway. And I don't think Volkanovski can finish Ortega. The only chance is that we've not really seen very much of this new improved Ortega. So we don't know how good his striking actually is. Because Chan Sung-Jung is a good fighter, but he's not the fighter that Volkanovski is. So it'd be interesting to see how Ortega's striking stacks up. I'm sort of leaning towards a relatively clean decision for Volkanovski. I think maybe Ortega will surprise him early and be able to land a couple of shots. But I don't think he's going to be in any danger at any point. I don't see Ortega snatching a submission. I don't see how it's going to end up on the ground. So I honestly think Volkanovski, and still, so it's going to be all 5 rounds, probably a decision. He might be able to TKO him in the way that Max did. Maybe, get Ortega tired, but I don't think Volkanovski quite brings that same volume. So I'm going to say a decision for Volkanovski. Thank you very much for listening, guys. As always, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I am closing in on that 1K subscribers mark now, which has been coveted for a long time by me. So please subscribe to the channel to help me out with that. And put what you think is going to happen in these fights in your predictions below. Thank you very much.